Okay, I'm inside of a cave. I'm not allowed to tell you the name of the cave. The name doesn't matter anyway. But as you can see, this cave has formations. Hence the reason I'm not allowed to tell you the name of the cave. But anyway, just a second. I'm trying to make sure my flashlight is not on. Okay, there we go. I accidentally left my flashlight on. All right, so let me show you where I am in this cave here. So there's 100% brightness. See, it's a nice lava tube. Got a little bit of color. So you can see I'm looking straight across. It's maybe 20 feet across, maybe 25-foot high ceiling. And there's the way farther into the cave. Looks like I got some breakdown on the floor in the way. Good to know. All right, so let me readjust here. Turn the light back down to 30% to save battery life. All right. So there we are. Beautiful. Wow, look at this on the wall. See that big gray blob? That's a formation. I think it's called dripstone. Kind of interesting how the wall behind it is all brown, but the formation's all gray. Wow, so complicated. All right, luckily the front, there are many formations on the floor, so I can walk pretty much anywhere that's convenient for me. For now, the floor ahead gets interesting. I'll have to be careful. So I'm shooting 30% brightness on my camera. The lens is f/5.0. So I have an ISO at auto. So the ISO, like right now, is at 1000. It's a full frame sensor, so has pretty good low light performance. It's a couple years old, but it's not too bad. Huh, interesting indeed. All right, here we go. Climbing up on a rock pile now, so I have to be a little bit careful. Even up here, where the wall kind of looks smooth, you can still see there's technically a formation. And the same thing, look up here in the color. Look at the texture, how it's kind of ribbed, like rigid or something. Not rigid. Anyway, like rapids. Very interesting. Yeah, look at the size of this room. I'm gonna turn it up to 100% so you can see. This room is like at least 60 feet across. Probably 30 or 40 foot high ceiling. So, let me turn right. This is the way I came in. That's the only way out. So, this is the way I'm going. Bulge is out here on the side, so I'm gonna check that out. Turn it down to 30%. See if battery life. I have like 7 or 8 batteries with me, but I still don't want to take any risks. Safety first. All right. But look at the floor here. Actually, before you look at the floor, look at the wall. Wow. But yeah, look at the weird formations on the floor. That's a technical term, weird. Like I said, weird is a compliment, not an insult. There's nothing wrong with being unique. Yeah. Certain situations you need conformance, but yeah. In a cave, the weirder, the better. But yeah, there's a lot of small formations around here, so I have to be really careful. What's weird is out here, the floor is super smooth. I can walk pretty much anywhere. So it's just, nice flat floor and then a couple of random formations. It's like, wow, that was weird. Oh, there's the W word again. Here we go. Oh, wow, look at this one here. See how shaped like a cow pie? So that's similar to a lava rose. I think it has to be nicer than that to be called a lava rose, but it's darn close. Notice this one is like skinnier on the bottom. It bulges out in the middle. That's kind of neat. Okay, so let me go up here to the right. There's a formation on the right, so I have to be careful not to go too far to the right and mess it up. Okay, and then over here on the wall again. Wow. So many little formations. It's like an army of formation. I won't even try to count formations in here. That's pointless and stupid. I'll just say more than one. How's that sound? That's right, more than one. This one also is gray at the bottom, brown or above. Interesting. Wow, it's so smooth over here that it almost echoes. Don't want to make too much noise in case there's a bat or anything. I'm busy looking at formations, so I haven't even been looking for bats, really. Hopefully I haven't disturbed any wildlife. Over here on the wall, too. Look at this. Nice little flow down there. All right. What's weird is look where I'm standing. The floor here is so smooth except for the breakdown rock. I mean, you can almost go barefoot or in flip-flops around here. Kind of interesting how a lot of the cave has all these weird formations and then some of it is so smooth. It's like you could get a janitor in here and polish it. What do you call those machines that spin around? Floor polisher, yeah. All right. Wow. What's weird, some of these formations, they look better from one side than the other. This one, if you look from up here, look at the top. Kind of looks really weird. It's like almost a tiny lava rose on top and then just the straight dripstone below or something like that. Interesting. Okay, here's another spot where I'm gonna turn out my light to 100% in a bit so you can look around. So I'm still going down into the cave. Okay, here's 100% brightness. So look at that. I'm gonna be turning left, the main tube, There's a side tube up there on the right. It doesn't go very far, but it's cool. And then look at this, the cave here. It's probably at least 40-foot high ceiling, at least 60 foot across. It's huge. And then there's the way back. This is where I just was over here. Wow. Okay, so let me turn it back down to 30% brightness to conserve battery life. See if I can make any more progress. See, even right here, I'm walking on the floor. There's like some little tiny lava rose type formations. I really should be careful not to step on these or even over these. So I'm gonna go to the right, get on this breakdown. You can see better and be safer for me and safer for the cave. What's weird, look at this, the breakdown rock here, there's the big orange rocks, these small gray rocks. So this makes it kind of slippery. Plus it can make crunching noises, so you might think I'm damaging the cave. I'm like, technically I'm doing a little wear and tear, but I wouldn't really call it damaging the cave. Wow. But you can see, like that little one here on the right is hollow, like a blister. And then next to me, on the floor, see there's some interesting ones. And then like right here, there's a little lava fall. But I'm gonna scoot over here to the right. So you can see the wall better. Wow. Even though the ceiling is clear, but here the wall is like got formations up to about 10 foot off the floor. Kind of neat. See if I can go over here without getting too close. Yeah, there's a boulder in my way, so I'm gonna have to go around the long way. And then look at that, there's a little formation along the wall. I need to go over this boulder, so I'm getting myself stuck. Yeah. A lot of neat stuff on the wall here. So, I'm on top of a boulder. So from this vantage point, I'm going to turn up my light to 100% brightness. So you can look ahead. See how it's definitely tube shaped, definitely a lava tube. I'm on top of a rock pile though. And then up there's that side passage up along the wall. It's a little tricky getting up there, but I've done it. Hopefully I'll be able to get through there in an hour or two when I'm on my way out. Look at all the white formations, white mineral deposits. Okay. And then there's the way back out. Okay. Let me turn my light back down to 30%, then see if I can get back down here without tripping, falling too hard. Oops, stepped on a loose rock, knocked it even looser. Whoops. Entropy wins in the end. Even if people stay out of these caves completely, they won't last forever. Eventually, wind erosion, water erosion, and so on will eventually collapse them or fill them in with sand. So try to be gentle, but it's not going to last forever. Okay, I was just looking at that formation there. I was basically standing on this rock right here. So I went all that work, just come down a few feet. I probably could have taken the shortcut, but whatever. There's that one formation on the wall. Well, one big one, a couple small ones. Definitely gotta be careful not to touch that. Now look at this. If you look below me, there's sand on the floor. And there's holes in the sand. That's from water dripping from above. So that's technically a formation too. So I'm gonna go around the long way here. Try not to step on the sand. It'd be easier to go this way anyway. See, look at the rock here. See how it's brown? And there's gray spots. So the brown here is like the dirt, and the gray spots are where water has rinsed it away. Technically, this is a formation too, but it's not really reasonable for me to tell you, never touch that rock. I'm sure if people keep coming in here, eventually that'll get worn off. It's unavoidable, unless somebody puts in a designated route to follow. Like I said, if I owned this cave, I would definitely put in a metal catwalk, have people walk through here without touching anything. But yeah, I don't own this cave. Never mind. This is weird. Look at this rock. It's like the weirdest, ugliest thing you ever saw, huh? All right, well, whatever. Now you know what a rock looks like. I still need to work my way to the right here. Some of these rocks are slippery, and it's hard to tell in advance which ones are slippery. So I kind of have to feel my way around very carefully and be ready to react if something goes wrong. Should be obvious, at least from the color and the texture. There's a big variety of cave or rocks in this cave. So you should be willing to take my word for it that some rocks are more slippery than others. I'm wearing good boots, but they're not exactly, well, yeah. I'm not wearing crampons or anything like that. All right, see if I can work my way over here to the left. Notice all the different flat rocks. A lot of the breakdown rocks are really flat. Like here, look at the way the wall is peeling away. This rock is only a few inches thick, yet it's pretty flat on both sides. It's got some arch shape to it, curvature to it, but it's not super rough. Now, before I go on, I gotta show you something here. Turn up the light to 100% one more time. I don't know if you can see yet, but there's formations all over the floor ahead. So I need to be super careful. Notice the ceiling comes down to only about 7 or 8 feet tall. It's still pretty wide here. Look at that. There's a way up there, but it's way too hard. And then there's the side passage up there. So, yeah. Interesting little cave. But let me turn my light back down to 30%. All right, there's 30. Notice how wet the cave is in here. It hasn't rained here, I don't think. Whoa, a while. I forgot when's the last time it rained. So notice there's a little formation hanging from above. And then underneath it is a couple good-sized ones. Lots of interesting little formations. So obviously I can't go around to the left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stand up, go to the right, then I'll show you the formation from another angle. Oops, that was just a big breakdown rock. Like I said, these big flat rocks can teeter-totter under my weight. Fortunately, I'm close to 190, so not exactly a little cheerleader or anything. All right, here we go. Well, plus I have, like I said, 7 or 8 batteries in my backpack, so there's a little bit of weight. Since I'm by myself, I got a backpack full of backup lights and so on. Can't really risk being in here in the dark. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Wow, look at the color on this rock here. All sorts of weird stuff. The weird texture on that rock there. Same thing. There's like texture and formations on this rock. So this was probably part of the wall or the ceiling. Somehow it got all the way over here. And then look ahead. Look at all the formations. Now there isn't really a way through here to the left. I'm gonna have to go to the right. There's sort of a path to follow. So first I'm gonna go left and then circle around. Notice there's more sand here. So even right here, like right in front of me, it's a nice little formation. And then there's some big formations here, all over the floor. So I'm going to be going around the right side of that formation in a couple minutes. But before I do want to show you, look at this hanging from the ceiling. Is that cold or what? I know, is that cool or what? There's several of them like that. That's one of the bigger ones. Neat. Now over here though, there's sand or mud, whatever. Notice the holes I was telling you about. So even though I could go farther without hitting a rock formation, I might damage a sand formation. So this is about as far as I'm going to go on the left side. So I'm going to circle back around here. You rotate so you can see these formations from different angles. And even on the ceiling. Over there, the ceiling is about 7 feet high. So try not to touch it. All right. So let me see if I can get over here. Step over this one big rock, or step around this big rock that has little formations. Even here, like I said, the floor had formations. That's why I had to circle around the long way, so I don't touch this stuff. There's the crack in the ceiling. Ooh, But notice it looks like you could almost get through the middle here, but there's more formations. It'd be a dead end. So see those white tags? That's marking the way through. That's where I'm going. Then over there's more formations on the right side, especially on the ceiling. Look at the color of the ceiling. Is that halfway pretty or what? All right, so let me step down off this breakdown rock. Oh, wow. See? Here, look at this. There's sand on the floor again. See the little holes? So I'm going to step around this. But before I do, I'm going to sit down here, look around. Look at how that one's not a perfect cylinder shape. It's like a narrow point. And then when next to it, it's shaped like a pyramid. Wow. Nice cluster of formations here. All sorts of different sizes. Pretty much the same shape. Pretty much same pyramid shape. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can get through here very carefully. Like I said, these little white tags are the route that somebody marked. So I'm going to stay following these white tags. I'm not going to be able to squat down too much because it's a narrow pathway. So I don't want to accidentally, bend over and hit something. But I can still pan down. Look at this. This one's over knee high. Definitely over 2 feet tall. This one over there. I was going to mostly stay to the left. But I'll go ahead and show you these on the way in. Just so on the way out you can compare. Oh, wow. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm almost to the point where I need to pause. No, I can keep going. All right, I got 3 bars left. I just need to watch the time. Make sure I don't mess up my video. There's a breakdown pile ahead. There's formations on the left side, so I'm probably going to climb over the top of that breakdown pile or something so I can get in there and see them. Notice the white tags on the bottom, the floor. Obviously, those are artificial to mark the way through. What's weird is, you know, most of this part of the cave, even the walls and the ceiling, have formations. Except for here, where it broke off. Then it's nice and smooth. Although, it's got some nice mineral formations up there. Very interesting. All right, so let me go about 2 steps ahead, and I'll start all over. Here's the way I came. Here's those big formations I'm trying to avoid touching. Some bigger formations over there. Bigger formations over there. There's even a couple right next to me. But I don't think it'd be safe for me to squat down because I don't want to accidentally bump a formation with my backpack. But it looks like a couple more feet ahead, I'll have more room to squat down, look around. Look at that one there. It's almost waist high. Wow. Same with this. Look at this. On the right side. I have to go between those 2 big ones. Let's see if I get both. There we are. There's my goalpost. I have to go through there. Very, very carefully. All right. And then over here, again, there's more sand on the floor. Very pretty. All right. So let me go ahead. So there's enough room here. I'm going to squat down, look around, make it look a little cooler. Obviously, it needs help looking cooler. All right, here we go. There's the left side. I'll get that on the way out, but notice how it's brown on the bottom, gray on top. Weird, huh? I didn't do it. There's little formations over there. Little formations over there. Lots of bigger formations over there. And I got to stand up so I can turn around. Notice there's another fat one, pyramid-shaped one on the left. Taller, skinny one on the left. Here's another tall, skinny one on my right. I have to squeeze in here very carefully. I'm seriously like less than a foot from this one on the right. So I need to be really careful how I rotate. Okay, so there's looking back. There's that over there. Over here, the ceiling you can see is really rough too. Really nice ceiling. They're smaller formations, but they're everywhere. It's like the whole ceiling is a bed of nails. Wow. Too much fun. Okay, let me rotate here to the right. Here's another huge formation in front of me. Wow. And then there's more small formations. Wow. Okay, only knee high. Don't hate when your formations are only knee high. All right, you know what? I'm going to pause the video right now and then start again. Hang on.